Good to be with you. And my good friend and colleague, Mr. Pompeo, laid out one side of it, but no discussion of what the actual deal might be. The framework that was laid out several months ago would, if enacted, if it was actually in place, would prevent Iran from being able to develop a nuclear weapon for a long time. And we also have to consider what happens when you do walk away. You got to be very careful about the circumstances under which you do walk away. If all of the 5+1 countries walk away simultaneously, then that's a much better situation. But if the United States walks away and the others do not, then the sanctions will simply fall apart.
But, sir, if I may interrupt you,
sure,
may I ask you, please, the deal would be a temporary one. So what do you say to critics who say it could, in fact, allow the country to develop nuclear weapons because it's a temporary deal?
Well, temporary, what is the definition of temporary? A very, very important fact that has not really been discussed thus far. We know it's at least 10 years. There are those, including the Secretary of Energy, Mr. Moniz, that said it is actually longer than 10 years. So these are things we need to understand. But of utmost importance is that those who are negotiating, those who have put the sanctions in place, the UN, the big countries, China, Russia, Germany, and the United Kingdom and the United States have to move together. So we just can't walk away alone. So we have to be in unison with those other countries. Otherwise, there are no sanctions. And Iran will be in a situation to do anything it pleases to do. So we need to be very careful here. Huffing and puffing on the part of Khamenei and, frankly, on the part of many Americans is certainly appropriate at this point because it does put pressure on Kerry, on the president, to get a good deal. And that's what we must have. To walk away at this moment simply isn't appropriate.
Okay, and we don't have much time, Congressman. Unfortunately,
Sure.
We're up against a hard break. But you did say that although you support the deal, that it is not complete. So what would make it complete?
Well, the negotiations, the details. It is in the details that we need to understand, and it may very well be that it is not a good deal, in which case, if it were to come back to the United States, the Congress has the authority to reject it. So we have an opportunity as members of Congress and the Senate to reject a deal should it come back. That's the law. So the president is under extreme pressure to produce a good deal so that people like Mr. Pompeo, who is thoughtful on this, would find it, okay, we could work with that, or no way.